Fear is one of the most powerful human emotions there is. So powerful, in fact, it can trigger a more crippling version of fear known as a phobia. There are many different types of phobias, but the second most common is glossophobia or speech anxiety.
Well, my phobia or fear comes from my middle school days where I had to give a speech in front of hundreds of parents and my whole entire 8th grade class. And I was confident, I was doing well. I gave my speech, and halfway through, I repeated one line twice. And I paused, and I knew I had done it. I got really hot, really nervous, and I did continue, but I was so embarrassed. Even if I don't even know if anyone else picked up on it, but I did. And in that moment, I think my fear was created. And since then, I just can't do it. My fear is so great after that one moment in 8th grade. I think so many kids have this fear because I watch them as I ask them to present something up at the board, or just simply stand up and share something, or even sit in their seat and share something. I think they have a fear of being embarrassed in front of their peers. They don't want to say something that they think people will make fun of them for. It's just that self-conscious thing that they don't want other people to see. They don't want to be embarrassed. I think we have a hard time being vulnerable in front of other human beings, and I think that's just a human quality that a lot of us have. It's hard to be vulnerable in front of other people, but I think when we can, me included, can get over that and be more open and more accepting of other people's flaws and mistakes, and I think our fears would start to diminish. People are afraid to make mistakes and mess up in front of other people, and we don't like to be embarrassed, and so public speaking brings all of that right to the limelight. Like, everybody's watching you. If you mess up, everybody's going to see that. So I think that's why it's so common, because we as a human race don't like to be embarrassed, I would say.
Another phobia that has most recently surfaced is the fear of holes known as trypophobia. It can also be described as clusters in nature. Although most people must avert their eyes from these images, psychologists have yet to classify it as a true phobia, as they say it is more of a disgust feeling than a feeling of fear.
I think most people have rational fears, and I think the irrational fears are fewer and further between, but they're still there, obviously. I think that particular one would be an irrational fear.
Arachnophobia is also one of the most common fears. This is the fear of arachnids, but more specifically spiders. Arachnophobia, like most fears, can be paralyzing and make you feel like you have no control over your.
I think deep down everyone has a fear. Some are just more prevalent than others. Like, some are huge, like heights. A lot of people are afraid of heights and stuff. And some people say, no, I'm not scared of anything like that. But deep down, I think they have some sort of like self-conscious type fear that they might just not be quite aware of. But I think that everyone probably has a fear.